Okay, fuck it. It turns out I have more to say about this movie because the fragility of the male ego in the defense of this movie on the internet right now is just tickling me, okay? Because what they're saying now is that if you didn't like this movie, it's because you are incapable of feeling empathy for Arthur. You did not like seeing him humanized. You just wanted to see the Joker go on a little murderous killing spree and dance for you like the little monkey that you think it is. You must not like intellectual and emotional storytelling. That must be what it is. And I wish I was joking because that's so fucking absurd. But I'm not. I'm being 100% serious. And here's the thing about this movie, okay? This commentary, this like backlash to the backlash has given me a whole new perspective because I originally like walked out of this thinking, I feel like Todd Phillips was like trying to subvert, trying to walk back a lot of the themes of the first movie, like out of resentment for how openly incels embraced the first movie. But upon thinking about it further, I think this movie might actually double down. I think this movie might actually be more incel coded than the first one, which is impressive. And you know what? We're just going to talk openly about spoilers. I don't know if you care, but you have been warned. The biggest reason for this, I think, is the introduction of Harley Quinn, who we all know by now is not actually Harley Quinn. She goes by Lee, and every single facet of this character's identity has been stripped away. She no longer has her education or her background or her personality, but one of the biggest elements of her origin is that she is no longer the Joker's victim, okay? This narcissistic abuser is no longer abusing her, she's abusing him. She rejects him when he shows her his humanity because she doesn't want an emotional beta cuck boyfriend, okay? This is just like what textually happens on screen. And if you're wondering what her reasoning is, she doesn't get any. She doesn't get a backstory, of course. This movie is not like working to tear down this badass idealized version of the Joker that people think the first movie set up. That was never who Arthur was in the first movie. He was someone that incels could see themselves in because they see themselves as perpetual victims. When this movie shows police violence, it isn't gonna make audiences think that, oh, police violence is bad. They're gonna think it's bad when it happens to me, which is why all of the victims in this movie of police violence are white. Like, of course this movie would turn Harley Quinn into the real abuser in this relationship because, as we all know, women hold all the power in society and men are just their misunderstood victims. Obviously. Listen, I honestly respect people who are trying to intellectualize and pontificate about how people just didn't get it, how this movie is deeply misunderstood and the messaging is actually beautiful. I know, baby. I know that game. I do it all the fucking time. But let's be real. Art criticism is not a debate. And you can wax poetic about how the themes of this movie are brilliant. I don't think they are, but people are entitled to that opinion all they want. But at the end of the day, art is about how it affects people. And it's not affecting people well in this case, okay? It's just not. Not critics, not audiences. And I also just think it's a little weird to conflate a film's quality with its themes, because you can have the best of intentions with a story, okay? You can be trying to say something incredibly poignant. You can be like trying to make a piece of work that doubles as art and activism, and it can still be not put together well, okay? And even if I thought that the themes of this movie were good and brilliant and important, I would still think that it's incredibly boring. And not because it's a musical, and not because it's a courtroom drama. If you think that this is a particularly good courtroom drama, I really do think that you should maybe watch more movies. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but that's just genuinely how I feel. Anyways, all of that also exists within the context of the fact that this movie was given a $200 million budget and was never asked to screen test for an audience before release. Not once did they have to do screen testing. Batgirl, which tested well, was shelved and we'll never see it again for a tax write-off. Coyote vs. Acme, which allegedly tested amazingly, was also shelved. So, I don't know. Maybe it's karma.